I'm Alex and welcome to today's podcast. Hello, I'm Alex and welcome to the Late Night Knits podcast. You'll find me everywhere as Late Night Knits on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, where else is there? Lovecrafts, Etsy. If you want to have a look at any of my project bags, they'll be on my Etsy shop. And it's Laight, L-A-I-G-H-T, and I'll put it in the box below. If you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. It helps other people to get here. I also have a coffee account, which is you can just ping like the cost of a coffee into that coffee account online, and that just helps me take the time out to film these videos and to go for walks and organise the technology that I need to do it, and yeah, sometimes it takes a lot of time to edit the ums and ahs out of the videos. So yeah, that'd be great if you want to do that. I'd really like to travel places next year and actually go and interview real people. That'd be quite nice. So yeah, anyway, that's all I was going to say about that. It's bitterly cold outside today. And the pond, so I went outside this morning and the pond, like the water's frozen on the leaves and the pump that brings the water out has started to freeze. It's really crazy. I'll probably put a little picture of that in later. I went on a walk earlier in February when we had snow and that was really cool. It must have been about a foot deep, and I can't even remember when we had that much snow before. I think I lived in France when we had this much snow before, and it was in March or something. Yeah, but it's only powdery snow this time. We had quite good snow on Boxing Day. But I expect some of you watching, you probably get snow all the time. It's probably boring, but we don't really get it very much over here. Oh. It's always freezing cold in this room, and the one day that I've actually put my thermals and woolen socks and a nice t-shirt on, it's absolutely sweltering. It's Saturday today, but tomorrow it'll be Sunday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. So I'm sending out a bit of lockdown love to you all. And yeah, I hope you're having a nice day. Maybe you're going out for a walk. I was looking at the Very British Problems official on Instagram, and they were saying, what will you be doing for Valentine's Day? Probably going on a short walk in the local area, because basically that's all anyone can do at the moment. I feel a bit sorry for the Very British Problems people. I feel like they're a bit sad at the moment, which is, I'm not laughing because I'm happy. It's just, oh, sad. Yes, that's true. So today I've got a lovely knit-along for you. I don't think I've really got any finished knitting projects, but I have got some project bags that I've been working on that I'd love to show you. And I've also got some, yeah, I've got some books, and I've got some fabric to show you. So yeah, I had a little bit of a splurge, so that would be nice. I've got quite a few people who have come over from Carrie from My Wool Mittens. So she's a really lovely lady who's from the United States, and she has a farm. She has a flock of Corriedale sheep. I can't remember if she has some other sheep, but she's yeah, she's really lovely. So I thought I'd show you where I am. So I'm right here in the United Kingdom, and this little badger. I don't know why on Birmingham they've just got a little badger. Actually no, we're probably more here. That must be Shakespeare's house, because it's got a little timber framed house. Anyway, this is just an old picture atlas that I'm knocking about, but I thought, I can show you where I am. Because I always think it's nice to watch a podcast and just find out where someone's from. So I'll tell you a bit about everyone who's been contacting me. It's been really nice to hear your stories. So Alice on Instagram, she's been test knitting for me. She test knit the fishbowl, damn rubbish at saying this and it's my design name, fishbowl cat cowl. And she's done it in some lovely colours, so thanks for that, Alice. That was really nice. And she's done that she knitted that for a friend. I think that's really nice to just knit things to send off for people, isn't it? And I'm working on a wrist warmer or fingerless gloves, haven't decided yet, version of that pattern right now. Oh, and it's been really nice to see my Shepherdress headband out in the wild. I've knit up a few over Christmas for presents, but I've seen Sadie Edmondson on Instagram, Jo Sky, she's knitted one and she's been wearing it for lambing, and it's got a little sheep on it, so that's really nice to see. Who else? Oh yeah, Jen. Jen's test knitting some Shepherdress wrist warmers for me at the moment, so they're going to be coming out soon. And I'm working on some fingerless, I'm not sure, fingerless gloves or fingerless mittens, because I really enjoyed knitting a finger on the fingerless gloves. I just started knitting up a finger because I thought, oh, I wonder how I do that. And it was actually really fun, even though it's like deep ends and not many stitches. I thought it would be quite fiddly, but actually you just knit it up and then you can turn it inside out and go on to the next one, so like you have loads of space to knit it. It's not even that hard. Yeah, so maybe I'll try and make some gloves. That'll be quite fun. And I was using Berlin Yarn Company Hebridean 4-ply, and that Hebridean Juviet 4-ply, and that was really nice. It's just a really sturdy kind of yarn. My camera stopped recording and I don't know when it stopped recording. Thank you, camera. So I think I'll just talk about my works in progress again, just in case. Okay. This is another one of my project bags, but it's a bit scrappy. Where's it gone? Oh no. Oh yeah, I was showing you, I would have lost those. I was showing you how many fit in these project bags. I think I'd fit about 8 50-gram balls or cakes of wool in here. And still with a project like socks or a shawl. So, works in progress, I've been knitting these Shepherdress wrist warmers, and I think wrist warmers is such a lovely thing. You can wear them while you're gardening or while you're typing without them being too sort of cumbersome on your wrist. So, and actually, yeah, for a designer it's a really quick way to test out colourwork motifs, that sort of thing. So I've really enjoyed knitting those, and yeah, Jen's gonna test knit them for me this weekend, so I'm really excited for that. It's really fun to see all my designs out in the wild in different places. There's a couple of sheep farmers that I've seen who are out doing lambing at the moment in my Shepherdress Headbands, so that's been really nice. That's Jo Sky and Sadie Edmondson on Instagram. So that's really nice to see, keeping them warm, and they've used all different colours, so it's nice to see what different colours people choose to use, isn't it? And another test knit I've got going is my friend Jenny, so she's Budget Eco Mama on Instagram. She posts about sort of trying to use plastic a bit less, eco-friendly, like cheap ways to be eco-friendly. She tests out a shampoo bar sometimes, that sort of thing, and you know, ways not to waste food. Yeah, so that's quite a good follow. So she's test knitting my Helicella Vagata, which just means vineyards now, wrist warmers, and yeah, they look really nice, and she's on her second wrist warmer now, and I know she doesn't always do colour work, so so she's getting some practice in, I think. So that's nice. And she, oh yeah, she knitted my Rudolph tree decoration last year, because she won it in a, oh what was it? Oh yeah, I did like a Birmingham Christmas market pub quiz, and she won the one of my patterns, and that looked really, she did a really good job on that. So yeah, that's cool. I'll probably absolutely ruin my hair now. But I thought I'd show you the Kammeborn project that I've been doing, and if you've seen my WordPress account, which is alexartsmanager.wordpress.com, something like that, I'm trying to move it over to a latenightnits.co.uk, but yeah, that's just a little project I'm working on at the moment, but hopefully I'll be able to have that. I've got that domain name, I just need to change it over to WordPress, so that'll be good. Anyway, so I've written a blog about this Kammeborn bottle cozy. I can't say too much about the construction of it because it's a paid for pattern, but it's by Sofia Kammeborn, and she does loads of these patterns on different designs, and there's these little houses which are really cute. You had to carry 3 strands of wool across to do those little houses, which I think they're worth it because they're cute, but I did miss one out. Because I don't know, when it's cold, your hands are just, it's tricky, isn't it? Yeah, and then it goes up to this lacy effect section, and then there's this, yeah, this gorgeous little picot edging, which I really enjoyed doing. And I just use it for my thermos. So yeah, it makes sure your hands don't get too cold holding it around. I think I just used JC Rennie, Jameson's, yeah, Jameson and Smith. And I really loved that, yeah. Bet that'd make a nice jumper. So yeah, that was just a really practical knit. It wasn't, I didn't find it too hard. There was a bit of colour work, slightly fiddly technique with the border, but I probably made it harder than it was going to be. Yeah, so I really enjoyed making that, and I'll probably make her Saga Stab beret at some point, because that's a Saga Stab bottle cozy, even though I used it for a thermal. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to apologise for my hair today because I think I need to get some special hairdresser scissors and have a little go, because it's a bit crazy, but you know, 2020 problems and now 2021 problems. But hopefully it won't be 2022 problems. And that's lovely for having your hot chocolate in. Look at those little houses, they're so cute. I like to pretend they're Amsterdam because my cousin lives there and I miss him. So, fluffy friends knit along. A lot of you have said that you're really excited to start this. If you want to join my Late Night Knits Facebook group, I've made a group within it that's Fluffy Friends Cal and another one for the Bats to Hats Cal that hasn't started yet. But if you're in the Fluffy Friends Cal, you can always post up pictures of your wool and your colour choices and what you're going to do. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm doing the Alice Starmore Child's Panel Gansey pattern with some little modifications. There are lots of cats involved. But I'm doing that for that. I've also, oh yeah, I can show you. I've been using these. I don't know what that's called. It's the Gathered Sheep yarns. It might be duck egg and a bit of Uridel. It's just stuff out of my stash. And I thought I could do like a seascape kind of thing. A lot of the sheep you see are eating seaweed by the sea, or they're by a cliff edge or something, so I thought it was nice to add those sort of seasidey colours into it. Yes, so that's what I've done for the Fluffy Friends Cal. And if you want to join in, you can join in on Instagram, as long as you've done something on the Fluffy Friends Cal hashtag, then I'll see you and I'll be able to put you in a draw for, it's going to be this one, this project bag. And I haven't put the linen tape in yet, but there's going to be linen tape so you can pull it at both ends. Yeah, and it's just got this linen cotton inside, and like I was saying before, this is Afro Style UK. They make some nice, I just got some remnants off Nancy, so that's nice. I'm really tempted to buy some Clothy Africana stuff. They do stuff on Instagram and oh my gosh, it's so bright. It would be brilliant for quilts, be so cool. And some are just quite, you know, calm kind of colours, but the prints are so bold. I mean, you would make a splash if you went anywhere in one of those outfits. Sometimes I've seen ladies wearing these sort of prints in Birmingham if there's like, used to be a wedding going on or something, and they just look really fab. Look at all these ladies in these pictures. Oh, they're loving it, aren't they? So I really enjoyed making this inside out bag. And hopefully I'll make some other inside out bags. I mean, I'm a bit late for Valentine's Day, to be honest, but I did get some canvas hearts, and then on the inside it's anatomical hearts, like actual hearts, so that will be really cool. And I got some bee canvas, and on the inside I'm going to have a beehive, like honeycomb and bees, so that'll be really cool for the bags. I'll show you the other project bags that I've got. I'm going to put them on my Etsy shop. So this is a watermelon, and it's got watermelon inside. You can tell I've been productive this week, can't you? This is, oh yeah, but actually I'm keeping this for someone. Yeah, so dinosaurs. Yeah, I know someone who loves dinosaurs and who will love that bag. And this is a William Morris print that I had some left over from my friend's baby quilt. And look, Strawberry Thief, and it's got all the strawberries inside, and that's all cotton as well with the little, oh yeah, this is just linen that I had knocking about. I hope you get into focus on these, because I'm not sure I'm very good at getting the camera to focus. So yeah, I had this as like, this was a remnant, and it's got all treacle cannon cap, Dover egg whisk, weighing machine, family scales, knife cleaner. I think it might even have one of those egg whisks that you used to have, you know, with the little handle when you were little, and it'd, or well, at my grandma's you had an egg whisk, and it's kind of like a handle, and spun something around and then got the whisks to go around and scramble the eggs. I don't know if everyone had those. A mortar and pestle, a tin coffee pot, a patent bread cutter, milk saucepan. Anyway, it's got all the things, and I've got a couple of those because I had exactly the right amount for 2 project bags, which was really good. So I'm going to show you some of the fabrics that I've got for the project bags that are in my Etsy shop. Oh yeah, this has got a pin in because I've been knitting. I just got this the other day, but I haven't been waiting for it, but I was really looking forward to getting these grumpy whales. And then it's going to have actual whales inside. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, that's where I live, right, sort of on the same line of latitude. I think that's right. To Wales. Yeah, there's Scotland, me, Northern Ireland. There's a few people with good podcasts in Northern Ireland. Who is it? Wild Cottage Yarns and Woolly Mammoth Fibres lady live there. Yeah, I feel like I've really got to know the country through podcasts. It's lovely to see where people live and what places look like, really. Yeah, oh. I am doing a Tour de Fleece one, so if you wanted any Tour de Fleece ones, I think I can make 4 bags out of this, and I've got a rainbow inside. I think I might just make outsides and insides, and then it'll give me the possibility to do custom ones, so I can like put in a plain blue inside, or maybe I could do like the inside of a bike, like gears. But I really like this rainbow from Felix Loves Fabric. It's crazy. It kind of reminds me of being a child. I am an 80s baby, so the 90s was really like, pah, colour, oh my gosh. So yeah, everything is bright colours, and to be honest, don't we want some bright colours this year? I think we do. Grumpy whales, and you can have the fabric any way up that you like. How good's that? And has anyone been to Perth? Because this is where I got this, just this cotton I got from, I think it's the Peacock and Tortoise or something like that in Perth. It's a really lovely shop. I think Mary Poppins would like this bag. You can fit loads of stuff in it. But I have got a little wool sack here, and that's of Ushan and a bit of alpaca from one of my friends, and I'm going to send that off to get carded into bats. Might get done in time for bats to hats, I'm not sure. I won't say too much about it at the moment, but she might be able to make some of the wool into like stripy wool, and it's going to be Ushan alpaca, so that'll be quite soft and fancy. So I'm quite looking forward to have that bats. Yeah, it's going to be so soft. I really hope this focus is alright because I can't actually see you. I tried to put a mirror behind the camera so that I could see, but all I can see is trees because it's reflecting me outside. So, yeah, I have gone on a bit about fabric today, so if you came here for the knitting, I'm sorry, I've been a bit busy. Hopefully by next time I'll have a bit more knitting to do with the Knitalong that I can show in a little video. I'll try and focus on that this week. But I have been watching my Mary Fons quilty playlist, and I used to watch her like loads when I was making baby quilts. I think I made like 3 baby quilts with chevron triangles, and one that a couple that were just patchwork, and she has videos of them doing bias binding. Yeah, but she does vlogging now, and she is like, I want to say maybe she's from a quilting dynasty because Fons and Porter. But yeah, I love watching her videos because she talks about the history of quilting and quilts in America. And I've loved watching her during lockdown. Like, she puts all these quilts on a fire escape, and oh my gosh, she must spend so much time quilting, or she has such a good collection. And like, she put up quilts on her fire escape just to kind of brighten everyone's mood. I just think that was a really cute idea. And I've been watching her recently, and she's actually in London. I'm like, Mary Fons, I've been watching her for ages, and now she's in London working with Liberties doing some stuff, and I think she uses some of her prints in her quilts as well. Yeah, and she's just like, talks about life, does some vlogging, and talks about quilts as well, and she's just really funny. And a bit silly as well, and sometimes you need someone to be a bit silly, don't you? It's just lighten the mood a bit. And she's really nice to have on in the background while I'm doing some quilts. So she is at Yo Mary Fons on Instagram. And you should check her out because she has some really cool videos. There's a quilt con coming up, so I bought her book, which I thought, when I looked at it first, I thought it said Make Love Quilts. I thought, ooh, watch out. But yeah, Make and Love Quilts. And, you know, oh, doesn't it look so cosy? She's got a little log cabin with a quilt on it. And these just look really modern, I think. Yeah, so on one of her stories I just saw this book and I just got it. I think I got it for like £3 on the internet. And I didn't even know she'd written any books. So, and I am actually going to read this from the front because it's got some really good tips. And she just talks about construction basics and techniques and things like that. Oh, I should have... Yeah, there it is. Northbound quilt. I really would like, these are king size or queen size quilts. They are big quilts. But if you have a load of scraps and scrap fabric left over, it's quite a nice way to use up all of that. And the other one, I haven't seen this. I've seen Whisper on a hashtag, and I've seen Northbound quilt on a hashtag, but I haven't seen the Royal We, and I don't really know why it's called the Royal We, but obviously being British English, the royal we. That's how the Queen says I. Everyone probably knows that already, but yeah, obviously I'm gonna go, ooh, to do with the Queen, but I don't know why it would be to do with the Queen. I don't know why it's called that, but I quite like it. Yeah, it's got all those it's kind of wax printy colours, the red, yellow and green, and I love the black and white monochrome as well, because that really contrasts. But yeah, this northbound quilt looks so cosy, and you could just keep all those little blocks in a little project bag. Quilts to warm the heart, soul and bedroom. Inspiring designs and practical advice from Mary Fons, host and editor of the popular Quilty show and magazine. Quilty. Learn how to create a one-of-a-kind quilt using the author's signature innovative scrappy technique. Yeah, she does some really big quilts. Ooh, rum raisin quilt. That's quite cool. Kind of looks like flying things. Anyway, that's all I was going to say about that. I like that book. So other books I've been reading include Daniel Defoe, A Journal of the Plague Year. And this isn't to do with knitting, but I thought it was strangely relatable. And I really love this woodcut. I love a good woodcut. It's basically a journal from the year before the 1666 Great Fire of London. And he just writes, it's what he describes as like a guidebook for people in the future. He didn't know how far in the future, who would have to deal with the plague or some sort of virus, maybe. And it's just really funny. He sort of goes through this decision. Should I leave my house in town? Should I go to the countryside? If I do that, will I take the plague with me? If I don't stay here, will I have a livelihood? If I go to my cousin's house in the country, will I end up giving them the plague, and then that'll be his fault? And then he goes through this discussion with these three men who say, well, one of them says, well, if I go on the road to another town to try and get a job, they might not let me in. I won't have food or water, I'll die then. And then when I go back to my own town, I might not get any food and water there because they won't let me back in. And then I'll just be on the road homeless. It's kind of sad, but kind of comforting as well to think that people 400 years ago had, you know, same issues and this too shall pass kind of thing. Yeah, and it's sort of horrible things can happen, but then things can get back to a semblance of normal. He writes really well. It's not like too oldie sort of language. And there were stats and facts like how many deaths there were, and he writes down all the numbers of things. There's a couple of really sad stories. He says an order was published by the Lord Mayor and by the magistrates according to the advice of the physicians that all the dogs and cats should be immediately killed, and an officer was appointed for the execution. And how they had to poison all the rats. I think it's really interesting how he reflects on the government's actions, and yeah, I just love this memoir or journal style of writing, just getting this person's opinion of their life. I think sometimes in historical things you get the facts but you don't always get the feeling of it, and I think having worked in living history, I really enjoyed that. So yeah, here's a little bit that I've read. So he was saying that some parts hadn't actually got this plague, but it did come to them. But as I am now talking of the time when the plague raged at the easternmost part of the town, how for a long time the people of those parts had flattered themselves that they should escape, and how they were surprised when it came upon them as it did. For indeed, it came upon them like an armed man when it did come. I say this brings me back to the 3 poor men who wandered from Wapping, not knowing whether to go or what to do, and who I mentioned before, one a biscuit baker, one a sailmaker, and the other a joiner, all of Wapping or thereabouts. And those are the men that I talked about on the road. Yeah, and read those books, they are great. Thank you for watching my podcast. It's been really nice to chat. I hope you're having a good weekend. And yeah, I filmed a little winter walk in the start of February, which I mentioned earlier. So yeah, hope you enjoy watching that. It's been lovely to get out of the house, and I hope you're managing to do that too. If you enjoyed this podcast, comment and like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I've got like loads of subscribers this week. I was quite surprised. I woke up and was like, I've got 20 more subscribers. That's mad. Yeah, so I expect I'll probably see you in March. But I might do a little video before then to talk about the knit-alongs. Yeah, cool. Bye.